Well, hello, this is Denise Miller, your leadership lady live. And we are now at the last week and we're wrapping up Women's History Month 2024. We're going to wrap up with some quotes from women. In fact, four quotes from women in the arts, literature, and entertainment industry. But before we go any further, I'd like to ask you to please do take the time to like and to subscribe if you like the content that you've been receiving from me. Also, please do share. There may be someone else that will be very interested in the content that I'm providing, and I don't know them, but you do. So I'm asking that you would share. Now, let's get busy. The first is a quote from the great Lucille Ball. And who does not love I Love Lucy? She is an entertainment and comedic icon in the American stage and screen. And she says one very succinct and pithy quote: I'd rather regret the things I've done than regret the things I haven't done. Basically, what Lucy was saying was take a risk, do something different, do something scary, do something that you might not normally do. But it's much better to get to be older and say, oh my goodness, I did that. I can't believe it, than to get older and say, wow, I wonder what would have happened had I done that. So remember, when you're trying to decide whether you should do something or not, as I like to say, if it's not immoral, illegal, or fattening, then go ahead and do it. Because when you get to be older, it's better to regret a mistake and a chance taken than to regret the fact that you may have missed out on a lesson because you didn't do something. The next thing is a quote from Louisa May Alcott. She was the author of the book Little Women, which is a classic, or it was a classic back in the day. And she says this: I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning how to sail my ship. Now, isn't that all of us? We're learning how to sail our ships. That's what life is all about, learning to sail our ships. So you shouldn't be afraid of the storms. You shouldn't be afraid that you'll capsize the boat. I've heard it said that the only time a boat sinks is when water gets into the boat. A boat can withstand rough waters as long as waters don't get into it and capsize it. And so don't let the stormy waters of a bad attitude or fear or depression or anger or anxiety get into your boat. Keep an up attitude. Learn how to sail your ship positively. Have a goal, move in that direction, and learn how to steer your ship. The next quote is from the late, great Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou is someone that I've known about for many years because she was, in fact, my mother's favorite poet. And my mother's favorite poem was actually the poem Phenomenal Woman. And so I've been hearing Maya Angelou since I was a teenager or in my early 20s. And this is a long quote, but oh my goodness, is it packed with wisdom. It says this: you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so that you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. That's a mouthful. It's also a brainful, and it's a lot to think about. Think of it this way: you're going to go through defeats. We fail all of the time. But as my mentor, John Maxwell, says, we can fail forward, which means that we can make a mistake. We can make a blunder. We can even make a big mistake. But as long as we learn from it, we don't do it again, and it causes us to grow, it matters. And that's what really Maya Angelou was speaking about. You need to go through the defeats to find out how strong you are, how capable you are, how much you can do. It's really, really important for you to understand that you can go through defeats and come out of them and come out of them successfully. A little bruised, a little battered, a scratch here and there, but still successfully having achieved something that you tried instead of, again, as Lucille Ball said in my earlier quote, regretting the fact that you never tried. And then finally, a quote from Alice Walker. And the quote is this. Walker is an author. The quote is this: the most common way that people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Now that's really a mouthful. Do you realize how much power you have? You do really have quite a bit. We are often told that we are powerless, so we think that we are powerless. Many of us as children were under the authority of adults that didn't allow us to try and experiment and be responsible. So we have grown up thinking that we have no power, but that is not at all true. You have a lot of power. You have the power to decide. You have the power to stand up or sit down. You have the power to speak or not speak. No one else should be telling you what you can and cannot do, what you cannot achieve. You can achieve what you put your mind to, what you decide that you want. It may take extra education. It may take money. It may take tremendous perseverance, but you do have personal power to grow yourself and to move in the direction that you'd like to go in. So please do not think that you have no power, because the minute that you think that you have no power, by default, you've given up your God-given power to achieve, accomplish, and to do miraculous and mighty things. In honor of the fact that Easter is March 31st, we're going to take a look at some of the leadership secrets and the leadership techniques and the words of the most famous servant leader of all, and that is Jesus Christ. That is what we're going to be looking at during the month of April. And whether you are a person of faith or not, there's a lot to learn from the way that he led. And he led very successfully. So we'll be taking a look at that. And I'm asking you again to please do hit the thumbs up or the heart, to like, to please subscribe, and to share. And I wish you a wonderful end of March. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate Easter. And we are moving solidly into spring. Take care, be well, and have a great balance of the day.